qualify for low-income support for gas, electric, even oil bills. And we need to make sure that people who are struggling with those bills have a place to go. New Jersey Shares is exactly designed as a partnership between the utilities and the state government to be able to provide one-time relief to a family that would be struggling with their utility bills. And it goes all the way up to 400% of the poverty level, which is $70,000 for seniors, is the level that New Jersey Shares makes sure that it provides support for it. So that will cover a very, very high percentage of our seniors. And if anyone is curious how it applies to them, they can call this number, 1-888-337-3339. The goal of New Jersey Shares is to make sure that our middle-class families and seniors can have support with their utility bills at a time of great pressure. And what we're doing now is trying to rearrange some of our activities in the state budget so that we can put more money both in next year's budget, but actually extend that $10 million by about another $2.6 million, so that New Jersey Shares does have the ability to help. Now, we're not quite there yet. We haven't gotten every I dotted and T crossed, but we think we will be able to reopen our ability to help with New Jersey Shares, should be within the next week to 10 days.
Excellent, excellent. So people calling that number will be able to get the relief that they need.
Let me repeat that number. 1-888-337-3339. That's for information on New Jersey Shares.
Thank you, Governor. And again, if you're just joining us, this is Jane Mogensen with Governor Jon Corzine. We're live at AARP. This is a live teletown call with AARP. We now have well over 4,000 people on the call. We're talking about state budget issues related particularly to AARP members. And again, if you would like to ask a question of the governor, you can press *3 on your phone right now. AARP representatives are standing by to take your calls. We will be able to take some of those calls live. And in fact, I'd like to do that right now. We're going to turn to Peter from Jefferson Township, who does have questions of the governor related to energy assistance. Peter, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Great. What is your question of the governor?
Good morning, Mr. Governor.
Good morning, Peter.
The question is, I am a senior with Social Security, and my wife does work, so she has income. Our combined income is around $40,000, and in the past, we have not qualified for any assistance with fuel deliveries. And that seems to be that they don't consider it a utility. And I was wondering if they're going to expand that to include fuel oil, because last year when the price went up to $4 a gallon, we had a real struggle to pay for our heating for the winter of 2007-2008. Go ahead.
Well, there is no question that we have to recognize oil as a big problem. Matter of fact, the numbers I see, the average cost of an oil bill probably went up almost 35% last year on average. So it's a very important real issue. Heating a home on average is almost $2,700 is the way we calculate it. And what we are doing is making sure that all of our programs, particularly the our service fund and our LIHEAP, which, by the way, the time for applying has passed, but our Universal Service Fund and New Jersey Shares would work to help with those oil bills. So the number that I gave Peter, you want to call. We can pitch in on oil as well as electric and gas with New Jersey Shares. which you would qualify for. And next fall, when we open up the LIHEAP, we'll have to make sure you get signed up. Actually, the closing date on that was April 30th. I would encourage you to call New Jersey Shares so that you can get help on that as soon as possible, and we're going to be reopening that sometime very quickly.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Governor Corzine, and thank you for your question, Peter. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Jane Murchison with AARP. I'm sitting here with Governor Jon Corzine. We are live from AARP in Plainsboro, talking to you, our AARP members, statewide about state budget issues that affect you. We're talking about utility relief programs, we're talking about preventable medical errors, we're going to be talking about a number of issues of great concern to AARP members related to the state budget. And just now we've been talking about utility relief, particularly related to New Jersey Shares, which provides great assistance to families every year who are struggling to make ends meet and who are experiencing economic hardship, which right now in this particular economic climate is quite prevalent. Again, if you would like to contact New Jersey Shares, you call 1-888-337-3339. Just if we can go once again back to New Jersey Shares for a moment, Governor, we wanted to acknowledge what you said actually a week ago in a teletown hall with us at AARP, and you declared that the state would have to find a way to access additional funds down the road, particularly once we get back into those cold winter months. You noted that there might be additional funds that certainly will be needed, but that you really felt you could make a commitment to assisting our moderate income families in New Jersey. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, there are ongoing discussions with the legislature about our 2010 budget, which begins on July 1 of this year. And one of those things that I think we have to sustain is that increase that we put into New Jersey Shares so that we will be able to respond more fully than would otherwise be the case with just the funds that come from the private sector. And it hasn't taken long to use up the $10 million that we put in at the first of this year, which was in January. And we are hopeful that we will see a little bit lower utility prices, particularly on gas and oil, in the upcoming winter season. But we need to make sure that we fund New Jersey Shares so that middle-income families and seniors have access to resources when they're pressed. We have good programs for lower-income, modest-income families and seniors, but we need to push up into that middle-income group, and that's why New Jersey Shares is so important. And we were going to make sure that we put that into next year's budget, as tough as next year's budget is, because it seems to be shrinking by the moment.
Well, thank you, Governor Corzine. We certainly appreciate that commitment. Again, if you're just joining us, this is AARP Live with Governor Jon Corzine from our state office. And we're here with a live studio audience as well. And if you'd like to ask a question of the governor, you can press *3 on your telephone. We will be taking calls throughout the session. We are delighted to have the governor with us today to talk about AARP issues related to the state budget. We would like to actually take a call from somebody who's right here with us, who's sitting next to the governor. This is Marie Piper, who joined us today. She's a volunteer with us, and she would like to ask the governor a question.
Thank you. Governor Corzine, you know we are all still dealing with a big property tax problem in New Jersey. Can you tell us about some of the ways you plan to help out older citizens afford to stay in their homes?
Well, thank you, Marie. Property taxes are a huge issue, and we have actually seen the lowest rate of increase in the last decade, actually the last 11 years, this year, because we've been working on promoting